Hello, Dr. Joyner, and today I will be discussing my final reflection of the Food Quality Management course. Don't mind my lab coat and the lab environment here. I'm just working on my roasting experiment in Dr. Rue's lab and trying to get that finished up before the semester. So with that, I'll just go ahead and dive right into it. The first question I gave some good thought to. I feel that my overall experience with food quality management has definitely been worthwhile. Though the class was a lot of work and it was very thorough, I feel like it's been an essential course, actually one of the most important courses thus far in my collegiate career in food science. I just feel like it's going to contribute a lot to the field, no matter what position or role I end up doing in food science. So I believe that, unfortunately, I'm not quite where I want to be in terms of understanding the course material and where my grade is, unfortunately. There's no doubt I've learned a lot in this course, but with this year being my junior year, where I'm just overcommitted and overwhelmed with a lot of things, I spend most of the weeks in this course just trying to keep up and just finish the assignments on time, rather than taking the time to truly understand what's going on and taking thorough notes on the material. With that being said, many of the assignments, especially the posts and the exams, thankfully required me to do thorough research on every topic, which I really appreciated. But I still feel like, personally, I rushed through the course. I was just trying to finish things on time, just make sure I made deadlines, not really focus on what everything was fully about. Had I been able to focus solely on this course, for instance, if I were to take it during the summer where it was my only course, I feel like I could have been able to dedicate the time and energy to earning an A in this class and actually gain a full understanding of the material. I made slight improvements after the second half of the semester in terms of my goals at the midterm. For instance, I began, at minimum, looking at assignments and content during the week before Sundays rolled around, so that way I was actually able to gain an idea of what the workload would look like for the weekend, and that definitely helped me a lot. This definitely helped me in terms of making sure I was on track with finishing assignments on time, but unfortunately I still didn't quite reach my goal. I had a couple crazy weeks finishing up the semester. I was in Arizona for a dive meet. I was in Chicago for an interview over Thanksgiving break, and unfortunately I was pretty late getting some stuff in, trying to cram things in, trying to just make everything finished, even though it wasn't really my best work. So with all of that going on, it was hard to keep up my motivation and effort and the time necessary to complete everything to actually earn an A in this course. Regardless, I'm still very thankful I took the course. I still feel like I've learned a lot, and I did put a lot of effort into it for what I could do, so I'm pretty proud of my performance. Even though it wasn't quite what I wanted it to be, but I still feel like I did a pretty thorough job doing the best that I could do. Our group actually worked really well together this semester. I was afraid that the midterm reflection assignment would cause issues between all of us since we all had to grade each other, but it actually did the opposite effect. We ended up maintaining good cooperation and even picked up in motivation. Both Ellen and Stan would start discussing assignments well before the due date. They were really outstanding on staying top of that, and I actually felt like I was the one starting to lag behind towards the end of the semester. But overall, having a small group with just the three of us ended up working really nice because it was harder for each person to start lagging behind or just slip into the background. We all really had to put forth good effort. If there was one thing that I could change in my performance in this course that I wish I did differently, it would definitely be allowing myself time to check over assignments and posts that were due, and giving myself time to look over before we had to submit them. Many of the points I lost in the course were definitely due to some group posts where maybe one of us didn't really fully understand what was going on, and none of us really took the initiative to check over each other's work. So I wish I would have been able to do that for the group and make sure everyone was on track and doing okay with the material. But other than that, I do feel pretty proud of my performance. I do wish I would have budgeted time a little better each day to really make sure I stayed on top with all the assignments and things like that. Other than that, on to the next question. One thing I learned that was the most helpful for me for understanding quality management as a whole were definitely the control charts. This is because control charts seem to creep their way or find their way into every single topic we discussed in this class because they're so applicable to the material that we're learning. They're great for statistics. They're great for being able to see if you're on target with your goal, and that was a huge part of this class. So knowing all of those different components and all those different kinds of control charts is definitely going to be helpful for understanding the material as a whole. And so I definitely feel like I'll be able to look at a lot of sets of data now and be able to figure out how to put in a control chart and what the appropriate chart would be. If there's one thing I wish we could have spent more time on, it would definitely be ANOVA. I felt very insecure about ANOVA. It was a very foreign topic to me, and I just felt that the material was a little bit hard to follow. All the equations had me a little bit overwhelmed, unfortunately, and I really had to rely on my classmates and Google to help me through the ANOVA on the exam, and I still don't feel like I really understand it. But with a little extra time or clear procedures on it, I feel like I could definitely nail that pretty well. The course itself has provided so much valuable information for my career in the real world. I've already actually been offered 2 internships for next summer just basically because I was in this class and knew Six Sigma and lean manufacturing and all of those different quality management tools. So it's definitely going to be helpful no matter what role I get in the field of food science. Everyone needs to know how to do quality, no matter if you're in QA or not. So I'm really happy with my decision to take this course. It was a lot to handle for this semester, but it really helped provide me with a directly applicable course for after college. So thanks for offering this course, Dr. Joyner, and I'll definitely be seeing you in food engineering next semester. So thanks again, and thanks for listening to my final reflection.